하나생명 e스포츠 대 젠지 e스포츠.
Teddy is another one of our players with a Kai'Sa license. I think that, you know, Viper and Ruler obviously in the Legend group are our Kai'Sa players. Diablo down here in Rise certainly has his license, but Teddy as well. He was, especially last year, was looking absolutely fantastic on this champion mood.
You're already good?
Getting ready for game number 1 for some great League of Legends. Let's do it. Fields of Daybreak onto Teddy.
Honestly, kind of respect it. I was gonna say unlock the Hex Flash. He ain't even running Hex Flash.
Nope.
That's just, he's just going raw, you know?
He's gonna take a turret shot. And look, if there's anything that you should take away from this, is just admiration for the ludicrous amount of confidence to work. But I hope that that calibrated for Andil there, and so the next time the Shattering Strike combo comes in, it's going to work out a bit better, as Sponge is going to be able to land his. Beryl going to try and see what he can do here as he turns it onto Teddy. Beryl is likely still going to be dead as Sponge misses! And the Shield of Daybreak actually stuns him up. Still, he's going to die, but honestly, I'm still even more impressed by Beryl.
It was a
Lucid not going to be in position to try and stop that one as a bear comes down. Showmaker going to have to deal with this, and Andil, who does find that Shattering Strike. Still, Showmaker has not pressed Flash, will finally do so.
Especially as you have these, so often we have like the AP.
Oh, there's a Flash in, as Showmaker just holding onto the ult for now.
Okay.
Thinking more about like King Kong, which was like the least action King Kong ever. But anyway, we've got a flash forward here as Aiming gonna have to try and get out of there. Gets into the brush as the rest of his team's coming along. The Grand Starfall not really doing too much here as DK just wanting to get their Corki out. But Beryl might actually be paying for his sins. A lot of damage is coming through as Beryl finally going to be throwing out the flash, but the Cyclone comes in to double knockups and Beryl goes forward to die once again. Finally, they do get the trade, but Rich is teleported in. Shiu going to come down as well. But in the end, it's actually a big trade up for DRX.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like D+ had so much AoE damage when they turned it around, but the problem was...
Maybe this is just like the Rise vibes getting to us. That's what we really want. Just doesn't feel as cultured as. Okay, in goes Lucid, looking for a little bit of a trade towards Sponge, as out goes Andil. Solar Flare, you're gonna only get the slow, as Andil will be staying alive for now. Oh, gets the redemption heal. That's actually what saves him in that particular play. Is, man, that burst damage at the end. Pretty possible turn angle here for DRX. Remember, Sponge and Yehu are pretty scary. Still, the Rift Herald is going to go down. Beryl in amongst it once again as Sponge taking a lot of damage. Teddy, oh man, you could feel the killer instinct. It wasn't actually in the end as Grand Starfall to come down. Flash out from Showmaker. The flash in from Sponge and from Yehu as well. And Showmaker will be stabbed to death in the end. But bit of an overextension perhaps as teleports are now coming on through. Shiu trying to set up for this one, but now he's 2 versus 1. The rest of DK continuing the fight, but the equalizer comes down. The Ram comes on in, and Shiu trying to stop Yehu from doing much more, but the Acathian rains down, and Teddy's able to take down the Monkey. Now Aiming, having to deal with this. He does do a fair bit of damage, and Beryl is going to be once again falling. Aiming surviving is a big deal, but this is also sole point for DRX.
Good cleanup there from DRX. You know, the target selection's great. They take out Showmaker on the bot side, and then Teddy finding an angle to punish.
Wasn't he? That's exactly what happened. As in goes Lucid, finds a knock-up onto Teddy. Another Cyclone, and down he goes. Just a little bit of brittle, and down goes Teddy. Shockwave means the end of Yehu as well, as DK spring to life. Well, you can see there is at least an equalizer there if Rich wants to risk it, but there's also so many brushes, right, with this Ocean Rift. So it's just very dark and scary to get on in here. There's the knock-up on Andil as well as, yeah, they don't want to risk losing too much more. The Otacon is going to be taken, but Andil still has to flash away. And now Showmaker and Shiu are going to be enough to kill Sponge if he sticks around for too long. Is overextend, so we'll see whether Shiu is going to be able to safely get himself out of this one. What is going to happen? Well, actually, no, he's probably...
And Baron's up.
Yeah, so they are just going to do Baron.
I mean, Pantheon has ult.
He's level 13. He does have level 2 ult as well. That goes a little further, doesn't it?
They are running out of time quickly.
Well, he's also going to take
don't
the
do Scuttle Crab. You need to be there for Baron.
Nah, better get the crab. He's going to get the crab, though. As he does ult in, the Baron does go down. What? Crab wasn't even secured.
Kill the Rumble. You just don't have the damage.
Well, Yehu is going to get missed by a Zenith Blade. Shoutouts to our previous series as now Showmaker gets dove on by Sponge, but that is not really where he wants to be. Showmaker and Aiming are actually cut off by from the rest of the team though, and Teddy is free hitting.
Okay.
They still just can't get in, as Aiming now might be able to help his Ornn make his way out. But that is way more than DRX could have ever hoped for. DRX now moving over, wanting to get themselves a soul if they can find it. DK really don't want them to do that, but the split pushing Ornn is something they need to respect. Magnustorm collects a couple of them as Aiming is going to be the focus, but Andil going to be going down first. The Ram coming through. Yahoo able to actually walk his way out, and Aiming will be taken down. There goes Lucid as well, and this time Showmaker will survive, but Beryl is also going to be dead. Rich picks up that one, and Shiu is just waddling about. This is going to mean that DRX can just go for these blades over and over again. Rich's health bar not going to be low for very much longer, as the Ram is going to be called out once again. Gets a cheeky little knock up onto Sponge, but now he's low, and he's just dead.
Wow.
Shio, I think, overestimating how tanky he was.
Ground right now for D+.
Well, now we've got the Ram coming out again as Rich in trouble. He's going to go golden as Sponge turns up. Lucid is just out of there, though, and Shio, I think he's burning his flash here as he does get himself out. Still DRX, they turn on a dime. Great Grand Starfall there from Sponge to make sure that Rich was going to be okay.
Even more of a threat. And I feel like Aiming's been sitting on these items for a while. Doesn't have his IE yet.
I've seen this one before. This time, there is the rest of DK over here. The engage from Andil, not going to be quite as pivotal, but Rich is making his way in. Choke point going to be there with the equalizer. That is so much value. And DK now going to have Lucid getting caught out. He has to flash to get himself over this wall. The Void Seeker missing is such a huge deal. My God, I think that just kept their jungler alive. But DRX still going to have their eyes glued to this Baron.
The fact that Annie has the pen she gets from it all, I believe. She gets pen now. Shiu just gets shredded. He really doesn't, he isn't as tanky as he thinks he is based on his items.
Well, they're going to dive on towards Sponge. They get his flash. That's something. Forge.
Yeah.
Build something up.
I mean,
that is going to be an upgraded GA, which is kind of crazy. Teddy, he's got his, but yeah, decoy over the wall. Redemption has to be employed here to get Lucid back to at least somewhat healthiness. Heal back up and available very, very quickly. They build spellbook things. All right, in goes Andil, finds two. Magnustorm comes down. Beryl getting in amongst it, Aiming, trying to kite his way up, but Teddy gets on top of him with a killer instinct. Yahoo does fall, but remember, Shiu wasn't even there. Sponge now going to get knocked up, as Showmaker just not quite enough DPS in this fight, and DRX, they take two and they trade it for the Annie.
The target selection so good from DRX there, and now Rich looking for more.
Yeah, he's just going to be flashing in here as the Redemption comes down. They pick up a bit of a heal, and Shiu is actually able to help out here. The Ram going to get a nice few knockups, but Rich, the walking flamethrower, is so incredibly scary, and DRX should be able to move back, break open this base, and look for an Elder.
DRX playing with conviction here.
Yeah.
And right now, D+ really on the back foot. You know, we talked about the Ornament Gold being able to equalize some of the differential, emitting into a shockwave, which we've seen teams do before.
Well, right now, DK just desperately trying to hold on to their waves as Andil went so far up into the sky. Yahoo gets into that backline, though. Tibbers goes down, and they're fighting against an Elder, and that is never going to work, as Lucid trying to flash his way out, but it does not happen. Still, Aiming is able to get one back, but DRX, they are so incredibly deadly right now.
The front line gone down. It's Lucid, Showmaker, and Aiming to try and defend, but it's such hard odds to beat the Ocean Soul in pocket, the Elder in pocket. They got to try and make a miracle defense here.
Yep, Lucid getting poked out by these Void Seekers as well. If two more of those land, I mean, he's just dead. As the Warrior Trickster does come on through, there is another Void Seeker to connect. They are dealing with these waves relatively well, as there is, of course, a Corki and an Orianna. They can actually handle that. But first Nexus turret is going to go down. Rich wrapping around to try and get the pincer move, and it's going to work. He roasts them all as the double comes through, and the Nexus will go down. 39 minutes. These teams doing exactly what they promised.
They killed their targets. They made it real simple, and multiple threats. The Pantheon in particular. You know, the question has started to be, can we leave Pantheon open? Can we trade it? I think the answer we've had today is no.
Yeah, and also, yeah, like, but the problem is when it's up, pick it, for God's sake.
Like, look how much 35,000 damage, by the way.
But do you know what they got in response? They got a Wukong.
Yeah, and you know what? Lucid has played Pantheon before. He's a good Pantheon player.
Exactly. They knew.
not super hot on the Ezreal here. A lot of safety, right, into the Cataclysm, the Miasma.
This is one of the weakest early lanes you can possibly have.
And Ezreal just hasn't been delivering.
No.
Hasn't really inspired too much joy recently in the LCK. I feel like the first 3 picks for DRX were very much like, okay, these are like really strong tier list picks. Oh! Is it the cluster?
Yes, it is.
Oh my
Let's get
God.
onto the Rift. First place in the Rise group as Rich and Andal have found Shiu.
I think they're dead.
He is just going to flash as Lucid's going to turn up, and he'd already skilled, so can't actually press that W button. They will just chase him down, and snip, snip goes the Gwen. Oh man, this has not started well. As aiming is going to bring a wave of minions towards this outer turret on the bottom side of the map. As that first blood gold not really helping out here for DRX, although they have, as I say that, moved into a little bit of a gold advantage. So despite the first blood, still doing okay. And of course, wasn't actually able to go back. So Rich hasn't benefited from that money at all just yet. All right, Lucid going to be stealing the young prince's stuff away, and will be able to secure it there with the smite. So Sponge.
And those rough lane matchups kind of just vanished.
Well, there's the flash in. They're just looking to kill him, and they should be able to do so. Does manage to get a bit of health back with the level up, which is absurd. And Shiu is now able to flash out of the way of the Mystic Shot. Teddy is likely to die, and he will go down. A 1-for-1. I guess maybe you'll take that.
No contest.
Yep. And
Lies.
Ooh, never mind. That is going to be True Shot Barrage taking one of them down. Nicely done there by Teddy.
Yeah, the smart.
As
not
Shiu
again.
may just be dead. Does manage to get into stealth, but it's not going to save him. He's going to have to ult to get out of there, and does manage to do so. Even as a Beryl. What do we mean by this? As he heals, but he dies. That is just going to be Feats of Warfare going over to DRX. Well, Showmaker now is just going to yell at Andal, but he is unbreakable in his will. He will go down though, so a little bit breakable. Wind becomes lightning, but doesn't actually lock onto Showmaker as the Cataclysm comes on through. Tempered Fate quite on top of each other.
Yeah.
I've seen this one before. As Beryl can magically journey his way out of this.
But maybe he doesn't want to.
What does he want? Maybe not this. As Teddy's going to turn up, there is going to be the magical journey. Teddy does go through as well, and Beryl is just going to put down a shrine, keep himself alive. Just trampled all over the doilies. Oh no. Well, he's now maybe going to get punished. Meat Slap does come on through. As the flash from Beryl to lock down the cow. Does press R once again, but these Twin Fangs are just rocking him, and down he will go. Tempered Fate going to lock up the turret for fun.
A little bit of a gold lead.
Yeah, feeling a little bit better. I don't know whether they're out of the woods just yet. We'll see what the retaliation is going to be here from DRX. As Yahoo is eating a fair bit of time. There is the petrifying gaze. Miasma means he's going nowhere, although he's Rise. So he definitely just wasn't going anywhere anyway. And that is going to be another kill going over to Showmaker. True Shot Barrage. Not quite enough damage there, as even the other Carnival died. No, never mind. Didn't actually do it.
Okay.
Kind of, it's kind of a weird situation. He was like, I have ult, and then he just got him right on the edge of it as well. Beautifully played.
That Callista pick.
Yep. It wasn't Andal's flash, was it?
No, because this flash is up.
All right. Well, I don't know. Perplexing.
Are you
I don't
okay?
know. Is my brain okay? Probably
Are you
not.
getting a bit too much culture?
I mean, this is day 3, and we've had some 6-gamers, we've had some long ones, as Amy just really wanted to take that magical journey.
Taking structures, taking the Nexus.
Yeah.
And Beryl just wants to have a tea party, and Aiming just wants to go on the magical journey.
And sadly, Beryl once again going to have his tea party interrupted. That is going to be a nice knock-up. Deadly Flourish is going to connect there as well, as Beryl looking to keep them all alive with this redemption. Aiming, not actually pulling the trigger on that R button, but there's a nice knock-up from Lucid as Rich going to get caught, and Sponge does have the ulti to keep him alive. The Venn diagram of the... okay, never mind. It just wears off, and down goes the Rift Herald as well as DK violently taking away.
Showmaker's kind of in this position. He's not in a good position now.
Yeah, this is maybe it's a fine position, as that is a lot of damage down onto Rich. Showmaker finding these Twin Fangs. Andal's not going to be offering any damage back, as Rich does go in, And that is going to be the kill finalized. Thankfully, Yahoo turned up to make sure that that one was going to work, because the rest of DK trying to sort out this outer turret in the mid lane. It's likely just going to fall, as with aiming and Lucid here, that should guarantee it. Really get there.
Kind of fake completions.
Yeah. As Beryl is going to pay a visit to Yahoo here. Meep Slap does come on down. Ashu doing a fair bit of work, but Andor will turn up, and Beryl going to have to get himself out of there. Does like
have the tea party. Now looking bot lane.
That's just a Cataclysm. It's going to get a flash out, as Lucid can then just hook onto his flag. Pretty happy about that. As Beryl, I mean, he really does just want a tea party, doesn't he? As Cosmic Binding is going to stop Sponge from having fun. Ashu lying in wait. Oh, the barrel bait. The barrel bait. As the flash does come out. Redemption looking to try and get these health bars up. Tempered Fate says, no, you're not audaciously charging onto me. And he has to actually ult to get himself out of dodge, because there is a Jhin making his way up. And he doesn't want the curtains to be called. Magical Journey in unto itself.
He's been limit testing, and he's found his limits.
I think he has.
Oh, there's an ult for
nice sidestep. The curtain call is going to come on through. Arcane Shift from Teddy. Third bullet is going to land. The fourth one blocked by Rich. And Andil looking for a bit of an angle here. Shiu is going to be able to buffer that W really beautifully. And Lucid, no, I mean, it's just Beryl, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's more clear with the Bard.
He does get some sort of inherent multiplier when he's on Bard.
Yeah. Something like that. Realm Warp is going to deliver a cow towards Showmaker. He's not too worried about that. As Cataclysm used up once again, as Sponge using the ult really nicely. Lucid does get himself out of the way after the Redemption does pop. As now Beryl having to take that Magical Journey out as Sponge goes back in again, aiming, able to deliver a lot of damage. That Magical Journey looked like it's way too long. Jeepers. Getting the angle right in there as this Dragon looking to be taken by DRX. This would be Soul Point if DK can get it. Headbutt Pulverize does come down. True Shot Barrage onto only Showmaker as Rich turns up as well. A Magical Journey going to be taken in by Showmaker, who does ult flash to get himself out of the way. The needlework is going to go wide, and now into the pit they go. Shiu is going to fall right after he goes between worlds. And the curtains getting called here. A bit of damage onto Yahoo, but I think they should all make their way out. And I hope there's not a large amount of infighting now, as Lucid is going to try and get himself out. And that Tempered Fate was extraordinary. Okay, Beryl, maybe you've redeemed yourself, as the Unbreakable Will has to be used here by Andil. We don't have the curtain call just yet to try and eliminate some of the low health members, or the low health cow.
Yeah, I was going to say, Showmaker would be like, why did you portal me into the pit? And Beryl would just say, did you live though?
Yeah. All right, DK with control of the area for the moment, but I am still very worried for both teams.
DRX are kind of just corralled in here, though.
Like Sponge lying in wait. There is the Realm Warp as the ulti does come on through. Tempered Fate just to lock up all three of them. Eats the CC there onto Showmaker, and he now gets to get those Twin Fangs out. Beryl, my God, this man, he really is epitomizing the Bard play. Is Rich. He was immune for a few moments, but there's the knock-up onto Sponge. He pops like a balloon, and now Rich in so much trouble. Beryl finds him, utilizing the Otacon to get the Cosmic Binding, and now Teddy, oh, he has to deal with the curtains, and he's not going to survive. Rich goes down as well. Beryl, man, I don't know. I just don't know. By Showmaker, and an inner turret does fall over.
There is a Bard coming.
Oh yeah, who needs to be scared? If I was Rich, I would be scared. There's also Lucid, so another reason why he should be scared. Knockup comes on through, aiming going to turn up here as well. They did need a little bit more here as the needlework does come down, that it is Showmaker that is able to secure it in the end. And maybe that just means Baron. 4 of them will be on that northern side as DK have started this. Remember, Showmaker does a lot of damage to the Baron as Teddy, position now going to be shown. W does tag onto Shiu, who's looking to wrap around. There's a Tempered Fate to lock down the Ezreal, and now they're going to try and turn. Lucid does get himself out of there. The Magical Journey from Beryl as Yahoo is going to get separated. There is the Petrifying Gaze as Teddy. He's ticking down, but he's keeping himself alive. But finally he'll fall. And DK, it was a 4v5. They should have definitely won it, but they actually will do what they were supposed to do. And it's Beryl that locks down the kill. Is that 500? Does he finally get there? Was that his 500th kill? Because that would be hilarious. He got one!
He got one!
That's 5. Is that 500? I think that's 500. Did he get one in the last game? I don't think he did. There it is!
What a game to get it as well.
Oh, yeah. As Shiu and him just closing in on Rich. Man, that was just one bullet. It's now going to be a 1v1, so not necessarily what they want, but Lucid is going to turn up, so now it's not a 1v1. It's in fact anything but, as Rich just going to get poked out. My God.
Just a little
Why did
damage.
It felt like Redemption did so much, but now they've dove on top of aiming. Out, he gets flunged as Lucid, as Sponge actually able to take down the Jin. Now Shiu in a little bit of trouble as Showmaker and Beryl making their way over. Shiu surviving for way longer than I think he had any right to as the Magical Journey gets Beryl out of there. Lucid coming on over as Andal. He is just free food waiting as Showmaker, he's going to go golden. There's Ebba pulverized right on top of the Cassiopeia, but she just yells at the Gwen. Down goes the Alistair, and it's a triple for the Snake Lady. And Showmaker says, not today, we ain't throwing this one. His position, Tempered Fate gonna catch Yehu though. You cannot escape Beryl. DK also can't escape Beryl, but DRX in this game definitely cannot, as down goes Yehu. And Shiu is just trying to survive. He will be able to go golden. That's going to buy a bit of time.
Nexus?
But base for Shiu is going to be the trade. And I don't know whether that's going to work out unless DRX really just wanted 3 games. And that sounds like a cultured opinion to me. As Sponge goes in, he goes out. And these Nexus turrets are going to follow suit. As, oh no, Lucid just put Rich in prison. Oh dear, his circle is going to be on the floor, but he is also going to be on the floor. Lucid going to be delivered to the fountain, but he has a GA and he gets out of there just in the nick of time. That's going to be another ace, and DK will bring us the distance. Another glorious 6-game.
Bard vibes.
Yeah.
And I think something to be decided in draft. I feel like the top and bot matchups favorable for D+. We've seen obviously Cassiopeia favoring the Rise. We haven't seen it always have as much impact. Showmaker, I feel like in the team fights just really made Yehu have an uncomfortable time. That was pretty fantastic. And
yep. I also Beryl unleashing the catfish, and there it is. The Tom Kench going to be the choice.
I think the Jinx Tom actually does a lot for this composition. You know, the Jinx outranges so much of DRX. The Tom not only is fantastic into the Nautilus, but also, like, Viego is such a momentum-based champion.
Okay, time for us to get onto the Rift for game number 3, or 6 on the night. The evening, and we have absolutely gone the distance. We would not have it any other way. As Teddy, he'd have it a lot of other ways. As the flash from Beryl? Okay, Tongue Lash going to come on through there, as Teddy didn't flash. So just throws a rock at Lucid as he makes his way back towards his side of the jungle.
That's enough to scare him away, especially if Sponge was there. And also no pillar for the Trundle ganks, not really too intimidating. He doesn't have much to do with some of his camps having been stolen away.
Yeah, well, we got an Abyssal Dive to come on through here. That's going to pair with these Flame Chompers quite nicely, as Beryl has a whole bunch of gray health, but he may need to eat it. Never mind. Oh, he does, actually. I prefer not to press that button because it does give you a whole lot of health regen.
Yeah, he definitely actually didn't need it. He wasn't going to die. Yeah. So he could have just held it.
Well, Sponge is moving in. I believe unseen as well. As Lucid going to come down as well, so DK kind of wanting this one. The flash forward from Sponge is uninspiring at best. And now Lucid going to come over. Let's see whether this pillar is going to work out. Teleports coming in from everywhere. And DK, their health bar's well and truly low. As the hook, just a little early, but still the stun's going to come in, and down goes Showmaker. Rich, I'm pretty sure. That's
going for a swim.
Yep. Showmaker looking for a bit of an angle here. Does get over the rocks and out of the way. And there's the charm. It will connect as Shiu. There it is. Yeah, gonna be able to fall down. Ooh, Beryl eating honey fruit. But the rest of DRX are now moving over. Just one of these grubs to go over to DK. That's Lucid looking to play some baseball here with Sponge. Teddy turning up to try and do a bit of DPS. As there is the wall to come through from the Talia. But Beryl's the one that's sort of caught out of position. He is going to have to flash, does get himself out of the way. The Flame Chompers, though, are just going to block any sort of approach. So that will mean the DK can get themselves to this game. And he has been their most consistent member as well. As Yehu laying down the rocks. This could be a dive, 4 versus 2, but they're clearing out the minions very nicely. Showmaker goes in, immediately gets knocked up as they will be able to take down the Talia. There goes Andal as well, as Beryl eats the gray health and then dies unceremoniously. But the kill does go over to Andal. That's probably best case scenario.
Keeps the Cosmic Drive running.
He does very much like the Cosmic Drive, as Rich has pressed a lot of buttons. Shiu is just going to flash away, but I think that it's not going to work, as Sponge going to be able to take down the Yorick. Really nice gank here from DRX to even up the kill score. Seismic Shove going to go a little bit wide, but you can see Andal trying to get himself out of there. Super Mega Death Rocket sails by majestically and will head towards that top lane, though, so he does need to be a little bit careful.
I mean, it's the Triforce, Trundle, and a Jinx as well. You'd love to get any alone time with power.
Well, there is the hook forward from Andal, but he doesn't actually hit a player. It is the wall that was right next to them, as now Lucid moves in, actually isolates Andal, and he's just dead. That's an excited aiming. And that is 4 kills for DK.
Sivir does just kind of melt waves now.
Well, Coolie Wall going to be denying Yehu for the moment, as Shiu not going to be walking out of the way of that Seismic Shove. The rest of DRX going to turn up and put him in the ground once again. Targeting Shiu has really been the bane of DK. They still have a slight gold advantage. It's not end of the world, but not a great sign for them, as DRX gain control of this Herald. Boomerang Blade goes a little bit wide. The flash out of the way of the big anchor there from Beryl. And now the Tahm Kench without flash. That is a big deal. Teleport in, okay. Andal going to get slowed down by the zap. There's the hook that's going to connect onto Lucid. He will get knocked up as now Showmaker looks for the charm but doesn't quite find it. Teleport in from this Cassante towards the top end of this fight, but Shiu's moving down as well. These health bars are getting softened up. The rocks go down. Shelly once again is just kind of annoyed. Hooks connecting, is aiming, able to sidestep, but does still get pulled back. Can he get excited in time? And the answer is no. The resets coming in from Sponge. And the Abyssal dive actually from Beryl to try and get him out of dodge, but it doesn't work. There's the chain CC, and DRX spring to life.
Managing to kite away from D+, trying to find the aggression, trying to find the charm.
Desperately need, as DRX in this mid-game, to make this composition work, as now they're looking for even more. As Beryl, you may ask why, but not understanding is also okay too, as he is going to go down extraordinarily low, eats the gray health there, as now Showmaker making his way in. Lucid gets gobbled up yet again as Showmaker, the point-blank charm is going to connect onto Andal, and they will get the first kill. Now the resets are coming in for DK. And all right, the pendulum, it swings back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. It swings back and forth.
You can never be sure of anything in the Rise group. And these comps are so momentum-based. We have Ahri, Jinx, Viego. If you don't get that first initial kill, it just feels like the comps can sometimes hit a wall.
Well, I mean, you can probably do what you did and explain what happened. As once again, this time he's dead. Andal also getting close to that, but the reset is there. Sponge looking fantastic, as is Chefy self. As DRX, they are going to try and make Arakan run out of health. DK are in the area, but full information is here for DRX, and they are starting this. The Mega Cone can possibly get them in, but that is going to be the knock-up on the Lucid. He does try to avoid a fair bit, but the Gobble, it does come in, but immediately they all just die. There's the all-out from Rich, as now Showmaker finally going to get here, and the Cassante will fall. DK, though, this is a 3 versus 4, and I don't think they're going to be able to make it happen.
Ends up getting him punished. I still think they're going to be able to secure the objective, though. Sponge starting off, but does need a bit of backup. We'll see, though. D+ are moving in.
Yeah, there is a control ward on this, so they know exactly what's going on. They're trying to defend this outer turret.
No way Sponge just solos this, by the way.
I mean, that's what he's trying to do. He'll eat some honey fruit. Maybe that's going to help. As Andal going to move out of this brush. Boomerang Blade is going to come on through there as a charm. Does connect onto Andal. Super Mega Death Rocket finishes him off, but Shiu flashes away. He keeps himself alive. Somehow DK do that.
Yeah.
To be fair. As all right, we are straight back on this Arakan, and DK are nowhere in sight. So it will just go over to DRX in the end. Shiu going to be trading that one for an outer turret towards his bottom lane. Aiming going to try and grab this outer turret in mid as well, as Teddy was looking to rotate over. Beryl is going to deliver himself as a distraction. And I guess that worked out, but...
Beryl is always a distraction.
He is.
Charge forward from that.
Yeah.
We'll see how it pans out here, though.
Showmaker trying to get some vision available. Seismic Shove is going to go wide. The Weaver's Wall just to block off the approach here for DK, as it is just going to wear off. This Dragon still up and available as Andal going to get CC'd. It looks like the Drake is not what DK are looking for. As never mind, Lucid, can he actually get in there? The answer is no. But the King's Tribute gets him all of his health back. And And now the Cassante is dead. Beryl looking to try and close in, but Andor gets a great hook. And Beryl is going to gobble up Showmaker. He now has a big shield. And Teddy is trying to kite it out. He does do a lot of damage, but not enough to save them in this one. And DK, they just leave Andor alive. And even he may not survive this one. We'll see what they can get off the back end. Maybe they can kill. No, they can't.
Such an opposition comes up, and the gobble from Beryl, the momentum killer. You know, the Viego's nothing without those resets. Again and again, again. This Viego's so fed. Teddy is doing so much damage.
Lucid.
Beryl.
Okay, well, there is some scary things happening here as Rich is in the front line. They are just eating Andolo, and he's just dead.
Okay.
Now Aiming's going to get excited, runs towards Sponge, but DRX are out of there. Once again, the Y is hard to find. Managed to become the LCK champions, reigning LCK champions as of right now as well. As a face check does come on through, they get the control ward down, the hook does go wide, and there is the pillar as Lucid beats an exhaust and then just wanders his way out. Showmaker lurking on that flank angle. We'll be able to clear out that ward as they make it as dark as they possibly can. Beryl gets over the wall, flashes, has to be used there. And now DK looking for a bit of an angle. The Ghoulie Wall comes in to try and hold them in position. It is going to be the Viego that's the target, but Rich, oh my goodness, he gets shredded. The Gobble comes through yet again to deny another reset as Beryl has that great health to keep him healthy. And DRX, they will be able to back away. Oh my goodness, this game is so incredibly intense. Available for both teams. DRX getting on it. Vision going to be there. A Showmaker looking for an angle. Andal doesn't find the anchor though. The Tongue Lash will connect. Charm just barely not going to work out there as Lucid wants to come in, but he's not going to be able to take this dragon as Chiu gonna get turned on the side. Showmaker looking to make his way over and the seismic shove goes wide. Sponge having to flash so early, and now the death machine of DK is moving forward and DRX are walking the wrong direction. Showmaker is looking for these resets. He's going to get them as Rich, he can't go all out of this game, unfortunately, unless it's via a loss, as Showmaker will go golden, and DRX, it looks like they're running for safety, but they're not on the red side anymore, as the double kill comes through for Aiming. He will die to Teddy, but that's the ace for DK. What it means is probably a Baron. It took me a little while to work out what it actually is going to come of this. Oh my God, I've never heard a definition of Beryl so perfectly done. As Sponge able to dash over the pillar. It's a charm! It catches Yahoo! And he is just probably dead! Blast Cone, never mind, it's a Mega Cone. And Super Mega Death Rocket is not going to land either. Yahoo barely gets away. King's Tribute's going to make sure that Lucid is going to be very healthy by the end as well, as now they need to watch out for Sponge. Lucid, he's going down very low. As these ricochets are so scary. Lucid, you cannot just die. He flashes out of the pit, but the resets start to come in for Aiming. As Andal is just dead. Sponge, he does steal away the Baron, but is it a Baron for Nexus? That's going to be the question as Rich goes in, then goes out, then he's dead. Aiming locks up the kill, and DK, they haven't taken down the carries.
Clear the wave with the ricochets. It's D+ favored, but we'll see what they can do.
Well, Lucid is just going to run behind this turret to get this pillar down. Yahoo is going to go down so low. He finally gets chomped by Lucid, who gets himself in there. Beryl was tanking up the turret. Teddy? Yep, Teddy. These boomerangs are really hurting. And DK, they'll eat some honey fruit and they'll get themselves out. This turret gets angry at Chiu, and the inner turret is still alive, guys. As another Ghoulie Wall. My goodness, these boomerang blades.
Aiming trying to heal up off the blue buff.
Lucid going to get a bit of health back for that one as well. Spirit Visage, of course, going to be a big deal on that one, as they do have vision. Lucid not wanting to give this one up, as he's just standing in amongst 4 people, and he's just dead, but what the heck was that? Was it even worth it? I have absolutely no idea, but it was so cool! 3 whole health bars of damage, as Showmaker, look at this. Okay, sees this health bar going down low, he's like, I'll take that. Yoink. Yep. He was just saying, I ate it, I got it. Already in this game. Six examples of Beryl also not necessarily being able to face check very comfortably. His aiming almost just takes his whole health bar and damage. What the heck was that? The Gobble does have to come through. His aiming back over the wall as he flashes over the other wall. Beryl will finally go down as Lucid gets the subjugate off into this backline, but it's Shiu taking down inhibitors in the top lane, and DK just trying to keep them interested. There's the Abyssal dive over from Sponge.
From aiming is huge, but is taking down Beryl enough to give you confidence to start the Baron? They're trying to move in, but it's still so scary.
Yeah, Lucid looking for a pillar angle as they do get the charm onto Andil. Moves himself out of the way. The seismic shove is going to miss, but Andil gets himself out of this one. Teddy is so scary. The ricochets do come on through as there's the redemption for a bit of a heal. 10 seconds on Beryl.
Teddy.
Yep, DRX are just corralling them. That boomerang blade could have been so scary. Shiu also going to have to flash the Ghoulie wall. Can it help? Seismic shove, not enough. Mega Death Rocket connects onto Rich as they will be able to get the crab. And we've also got a full wave of minions pushing in on the bottom side of the map as well. As DRX are just getting pulled around their base. Teddy, Spell Shield now on cooldown just for a moment. Morning Mist going to come on through there as the Maiden is going to be another prize here for DRX. Teleport to bring Andil in, looking for a bit of an angle, but the Ghoulie wall again. Oh, Sponge, he's going to get taken down by aiming. That's one of the resets now removed. And he's not going to be alive to see the next Baron go down as DK. As Showmaker lurking on the side, the ward is going to spot him out as Shiu also going for a bit of a split push, but now going to get caught out. Heartbreaker comes forward. Shiu trying to get back to the rest of his team, but he is just going to get taken down. No one going to be there to answer it. And now DK, their push, going to be a whole lot more difficult. So this Baron, I don't think is going to work. Cooldown, yeah, not quite finding an angle, not throwing the game. Right?
He did actually use Ghost there, and he committed the ults in return. It is a pretty short cooldown at this point. You can see it taken away quickly, but not available right now this second. Both the buffs are live now, so any second we expect to fight.
Hook is going to connect there onto Lucid. The immediate gobble does come on through as Andil down very, very low. Sponge flashing to get himself out of the way as aiming lands the zap. The slow lasting forever is what it feels like, but Showmaker has also started that cooldown on the ulti. Wanted to get through a bit of this essence, but it looks like DRX are just going to back away. Shiu doing exactly what he wants to do, and that is push a side lane.
Wait, are we getting the trade? Are we getting the trade?
No, we are going to get the trade.
We're getting the trade.
It's the gentleman's agreement. Okay, well, now we're going to learn whether or not the Elder or the Baron are better. In a fight, the Elder's better. In a push, the Baron's better. Beautiful if that happened. The one thing I know is that they will keep the stat of the longest games in the league. As the wall is going to come down, it blocks some of the minions, but not too many of them. The Baron not looking too useful right now as Teddy gets exhausted. The rockets are going to fly through as Showmaker looks for an angle, does go golden. There is a bit of a flick back as Teddy now is so low and Beryl gets a massive knock up. The one man not afraid to start this fight, and he trades his life for the Fountain Laser. And DK still pushing forward. They have so much damage. These turrets just melt as Rich tries to get himself out, but the Dragon's Wrath, it is swift and merciless. And DK, after the biggest test that they've had so far in this culture-driven Rise group, will finally topple DRX.
This game?
Yeah, I mean, we got, you know,
we're approaching on it.
Do you know what's insane?
It was closer to 94 minutes than it was to 0.
The 94-minute game, this was only half of that. As Showmaker is going to get it somehow. He did steal that dragon.
He stole the dragon. The Cassiopeia game was pretty solid, you know.
Thank you so much, guys. This is Steer for the POM interview translation, joined by Showmaker on the side of D plus Kia. King of Rise, just like your nickname. You locked in first place. How do you feel? Wow, today, the match was just so difficult. And I feel like I'm just so drained. But I'm glad. Yeah, it was actually a battle between teams with the longest average game time. And we went to a close series. So why do you think you end up playing longer games? You know, is it because 6 game days or Subin days? Well, longer game times, it could be seen as a good thing, but I feel like there's also something that can be seen as a bad thing too. Because it means that you are not able to close out a game. I think we definitely do have some room for improvement in that sense. And in game 2, your Cassiopeia made an appearance after a while, and you've only played her in the LCK once before today. So what made you pick her? Cassio, I don't really play her on stage, that's true. But I do believe that I'm pretty good and decent at playing Cassio, and I've always wanted to, I've been meaning to play her on stage for a while, so I think today was the right day. Yeah, she seems viable as a counter to Rise, so how was the matchup? To be honest, I feel like from Rise's perspective, it's pretty doable, and same goes for Cassio, so I think it's pretty much a skills matchup. And in game 3, Yorick got targeted and Shiu must have had a rough time, so what were the comms like from top? Yeah, he was getting focused down really hard. And Shiu, he was definitely having a difficult time, but he held on just fine for us to be able to win in the end. And I'm sure everyone enjoyed watching game 3. And with so much back and forth, what was the game plan to break through? I think we just tried our best with whatever was given to us. And the enemy had Sivir, and I think the only range champion that we had was Jinx, and we had so many mistakes, and it just ended up becoming such a long game. So when were you certain of victory? Honestly, at the very end, when Beryl was shouting out Sivir, Sivir, Sivir after he was using exhaust, that's the moment that we actually felt like we were winning. And you guys got a buff IRL today. Someone came to site to cheer for D plus Kia, and it's Nagori, your former teammate. He's wearing your jersey today. Any message to Guriping? Guriping, you look so good in your jersey. And Nagori Hyung, I'm just so happy to see you after a long time, and I'm really happy that we're able to win today. And as the king of Rise, you'll have to touch up on your form until the play-ins. So, what do you want to improve on? Lately, we haven't been performing very well. But now that we have secured first place, I think we just have to make sure that we play well in the rest of the matches. Congratulations again, and that's the end of the interview with Showmaker of D plus Kia, and back to the space. Thank you.